Hi, everyone. I hope you're all having a great time today. Yes, I am a composer and producer of music. I've worked in the industry for many years, all over the world, in all different forms of media, everywhere from Hollywood to the Vatican. So today, I would like to start by saving all of you some time in connecting to your futures. So here's a list of things that will not help you connect to your futures. I repeat, these things will not help you connect to your futures. Not taking a shower, not changing my clothes, not studying, waiting until the last minute, being afraid to ask questions, not understanding other cultures, being afraid to trust myself, taking myself too seriously, not taking myself seriously enough, not having goals, living on a diet of caffeine and Snickers bars, worrying, thinking I'm not good enough, thinking that I'm not smart enough, thinking people don't want to talk to me, thinking that I don't want to talk to people, thinking college is all about the resume, not calling my mother, wanting success but not wanting to work for it, dating two women at the same time, mistaking obsession for love, thinking that life reflects television, not learning. So all of you guys are going to end up having your own lists as well, especially as you move through life. I look back at some of these mistakes that I made actually with a lot of fondness because I tried to learn from my mistakes. I didn't want to make them. I wanted to be a successful composer. But there were always things pulling me in different directions, right? The urge to procrastinate, to do other things, to rebel, to hang out with my friends. I was pulled in so many different directions. Even now, as I move through my career forward, I'm still pulled by these tension of opposites. So what are the tension of opposites? How do we learn from them? Well, I created a project that was actually focusing on this exact idea, and it's called The Tension of Opposites. Here's a trailer to give you an idea. So I'd like to ask you guys right now to ask yourselves, what are the tension of opposites that are pulling at you? You know, maybe it's, do I stay and listen to this guy talk or do I leave? You know, or maybe it's, do I listen to my friends or do I listen to myself? Do I follow my dreams or do I follow what other people expect of me? Now, when I was your age, I wanted to be a composer, but I also wanted to be a doctor. Composer, doctor. I found that the place to start when making the decision of what to do with my life is within myself. To look at those things that really excite me, the things that give me passion. So some of you, it might be, I don't know, maybe you have a passion for technology. Maybe some of you love reading. Maybe some of you love sports. Maybe some of you just like the idea of just making tons of money. But whatever your passion is, it should be something that takes you into another dimension. It'll take you into different worlds, other places that you can't possibly predict. And these places, mark my words, will challenge you both personally and professionally. Maybe some of you might be asking yourselves, you know, I don't even know if I have a passion, or I don't know what it is, or maybe it's silly. Well, just to give you an example, a show that I worked on called Futurama was created, was created by a gentleman who only had a passion for doodling. He created Futurama and The Simpsons from his passion for doodling. So now, what I would like to ask then is, what is the opposite of passion? For me, it's fear. Fear and passion coexist. They do a little waltz in the pit of your stomach. Why do you feel passionate or nervous before the big game? When you're going to ask that person on a date, the first kiss, the exam, the paper, fear wells up until we're frozen in fear. So we have that urge to run away versus the urge to move forward. What's the secret handshake here? Well, the secret handshake is to understand that fear and passion coexist. You fear something because you care about it. So what I would suggest when you do have that little waltz, to move past the feeling of fear. Give something a shot. And you'll be surprised at what kind of results that you'll achieve. Now for me, I came from a family of 5 kids. 2 dogs, 2 Italian parents, lots of yelling and chaos. I'll never forget, one night I was in my room sleeping, it was raining out, my father comes into the room. He sits next to my bed. I actually thought I was going to get in trouble. He sits next to my bed and he says, "Matt, I need to talk to you." And then he said, "I don't have enough money to send you to college. I spent all of my money on your siblings." I looked at him and I said, "What?" And he said, "I'm sorry. I just don't have the money." Maybe it might be possible we can get financial aid for you. You're a bright kid. You're really talented at music. Maybe we can do that. You can imagine how I felt when my father left the room. I was angry. I was disappointed. I was frustrated. I so desperately wanted to go to college. And I tell you guys this because all of you are going to come into situations where you're at a crossroads, where you have to make really important decisions and understand these different emotions that move within you. Now, for me in this situation, the fact that my father didn't have the money was actually an opportunity. So I found help. Now, in composition, we're always looking to find the perfect note. I'm just curious, do any of you know what a mentor is? Show of hands, quick show of hands. How many have one? Okay. For me, a mentor is that person who sees the road in front of you, but also sees the obstacles. The mentor helps guide you through that road to the next level of achievement. They want to nurture you. I found my mentors in the form of 3 music teachers. Now, I was the worst kid in music theory class. I was the best kid in music class. I was the only kid in music theory class. One day, my mentors came into class and they said, "Matt, we want you to write a piece of music for the jazz band." And I looked at myself, are you guys kidding? I'm a drummer. I barely even play piano. And they said, no, but you want to be a composer. So you're going to write this piece of music as your assignment this semester. So I had no choice. I said, okay. So flash forward, it's halfway through the semester. I'm sitting in a tiny little practice room, trying to find inspiration, playing the same melody over and over, pounding my head against the piano. Suddenly, the door opens up, and it's my mentor, Dr. Snell. He says, Matt, what do you got for me today? Show me your genius. I look up at him. I look back at the piano. Silence. He says, that's all you have? We're halfway through the semester. And I said, Doc, I'm trying to find inspiration here. And he said, look, move over. Let me sit down and let me see if I can help you. So he said, look, take that idea and just let it unfold slowly. Don't reveal it so quick. Add notes, harmonize it. Transpose it. Expand it. Reharmonize it. Arrange it. So he finished, he looked at me, he grabbed my head. He said, Matt, use your noggin. So as he got up and he left the room, he also turned to me and he said something that I'll never forget to this day. And he said, Matt, look, creativity, innovation is 10% inspiration, 90% perspiration. With that, he left. I'm sitting in the room and I'm thinking to myself, that's great, Doc. That's easy for you to say. You've been playing piano for 100 years. What am I going to do? Why did I take on this assignment? But I sat in that room the next day and every day after for the rest of the semester, and I worked. I made mistakes. I listened to other artists. I wrote things, I rewrote, I obsessed over every note. Flash forward, and I'm sure you can all relate to this. It's like the last day of semester, the bell's about to ring. I handed in that chart. I handed it in, I finished it. That chart then went on to win a bunch of awards at all of the inter-school jazz competitions. Famous jazz musicians were coming up to me, congratulating me. I then took that one piece of music, recorded it, and submitted it to universities all around the country. That one piece of music got me a full scholarship to USC. That one concerted effort is part of the reason I'm here in front of you today. So what does this all mean for you guys? Well, if you have a passion, let it gestate inside you. Let it unfold. Look for notes. Harmonize your ideas. Find mentors. Reharmonize your ideas. Arrange them. If something's not working, try something else. If you want to get from point A to point B, think of different paths to get there. Develop your ideas. Have a deep knowledge for your passion. And most importantly, learn to love the blues. Why? Because all of you, everyone, all of us, we all experience hardship, heartache, disappointment. These things are good because they build compassion. And compassion is something that our world desperately needs right now, especially in business. So flash forward, it's the end of the semester, there's 2 days left of class. I have one more choir rehearsal, and I didn't like choir. It was the last rehearsal before the big end-of-year concert. So what do? I blow it off. I don't go. One of my mentors was pretty upset with me. He wrote me this letter, and for the first time, I'd like to share it publicly. I think it's important for you to hear part of this. He said, "Dear Matt, a composer is not only dependent on a conductor and performers, he's actually a non-entity without them. His work is non-existent without the work of other musicians. A conductor may understand a score and know it in his very soul, but without others, he's an island with no substance. Only when the deepest commitment to other performers, to the conductor, to the score, to the audience, when that's reached, can the symphony truly reach brilliant proportions. Except at some point, the absolute commitment which music making demands. Only in that acceptance can you be even minimally successful." Your friend, Walter Lamble. This letter was written out of love and compassion. Lamble could have slammed me. He could have actually prevented me from graduating. But what did he do? He responded with love and compassion. So I learned a valuable lesson from that, and that's to commit to others. I want to leave you guys with one more thing. I have one more list. Now, these are the things that you should do to connect to your futures. I tried all them out. I test drove all these things, especially for you. You should do these things. Do take a shower. Do change your clothes. Do ask lots of questions. Be patient. Love learning. Love yourself. Be kind. Wake up early. Drink lots of water. Find your passion. Stop at red lights. Go for the first kiss. Think you're smart enough. Think you're good enough. Embrace your emotions. Inject energy into your ideas. Listen to your passion. Explore your ideas. Introduce yourself to someone that you don't know. Meet people. Try and understand other cultures. Eat broccoli. Laugh at fear. Laugh at fear. Use your noggin. Return everyone's phone call. Show up on time. Love what you do. Love other people. Date one person at a time. And call your mothers and fathers and tell them you love them. I wish you all great success. Thank you.